Good afternoon. So in our second session, we are going to be trained in plant-based baking. If you have any question, feel free to ask the trainers.
Energetic enough to listen to me and pay attention to what we'll do, right? So this is our second last session. We are doing bakery. We will bake pizza, cookies, cupcakes.
All are okay. So for the questions part, because we don't have enough time, we have limited time, I would like to request you all to have your questions later after we finish making the cake, the pizza, the cookies, and also the cupcakes. Kindly allow, that's the time we'll give you time to have questions, because right now the concentration span, it's somehow not that high. So I know like most of you will get tired very, very fast, and also feeling sleepy due your stomachs are full. You have heavy jackets on, 2 t-shirts. So I know like you will be you will start sleeping now. So kindly, I'm requesting you to have your questions. Write your, if you see you have a question, write it somewhere, and then after we finish making all the things, then you can kindly give us your question, and then we'll answer them later. Is that okay? And we kindly request, if possible, if you can, and I know all of you can, you're still young and you're learned people, when we ask questions, kindly let us use English, because the supporters of the program somehow they can't hear Kiswahili or the Kikuyu, so kindly try to use English. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, I'm Peter. I will take you through the pastry, and here are my ingredients, right? I have my EXE self-raising. This is meant for cake. Okay. I prefer using EXE all-purpose. This is for making the dough of cupcakes, cookies, right? So I have a quantity of them, but I won't use one. So this is the one I used for practice. I won't use it. It's on training, right? So we will start by making we will start with the process of making pizza. The process of making pizza, we will use water, warm water, actually lukewarm water. Okay? So we will start with pizza. So we are listing our ingredients. Lukewarm water. I request my colleague to help me in making it lukewarm. We will use our EXE all-purpose flour. We will use our yeast. Okay. Aging people, sorry. Capsicum. For me, I've been using the red, yellow, but for today we use the green ones, right? Then the what? Good. I love that. So, we will do this. When I will be making the toppings of the pizza, my colleague will be making the dough. Okay? So, we will just explain, then she will make the dough. There is no process in making the dough, right? She will be making the dough of cookies and also the dough of pizza. So what matters is the process of going there through the dough, right? So you just take your lukewarm water.
Yeah, it's coming. Just a minute. We need an electrical kettle for it to be quick, to save on time. So it's on its way.
Okay, we can continue then with cookies. Okay, just let us keep that pending. Okay, we continue with cookies. In cookies, we will I won't use this flour. I will use my tomato flour. Sorry, let me not think about tomatoes again. I love them. Potatoes, okay? Potato flour, sorry, and rice flour. Okay? In making cookies, yes. This is rice flour, okay? And what is this? So I will be using them. Also, I'll be using my brown sugar, and also I have my electric hand mixer. I have we already have our buttermilk, right? We will use our milk. We will use our milk. So this is the process. We continue with the dry ingredients, then to the wet ingredients, then we mix them together. Okay? let's start with dry ingredients. This is our flour. We don't want to make a lot of cookies, so we'll just measure little. So give me just a pan there. Or a sufuria to make.
A pan or a sufuria to make what?
Maybe you can mix this. So we will measure 15 grams each. Potato flour and the rice flour, right? But it is not limited, like you can use any flour according to the number of cookies you want, right? This is potato flour. I know most of you have never seen this. So
So the potato flour, it's actually made from, can you allow me to switch it off first? I explain it. So the potato flour, it's made from just the normal potato you harvest from the shamba or your garden, and then you dry them. After drying them, you take them to your posho mill anywhere that they can grind, so that it can bring the flour. This flour cannot make cake because it has a lot of starch in it. So like when you mix it, you know, the cookies, they has that crunchy taste that when you chew it, it's like breadcrumbs on it. So this is the perfect for making the cookies because it's hard. It has a lot of starch. So coming together, it cannot come together like the way cake comes together as a one piece. So for this one, it cannot make cake unless you add the starch that we were talking about, or the corn flour, for it to make cake. So this is perfect for making cookies, and actually it doesn't have that potato taste. And if you feel the potato taste, it's actually it's far, like it cannot like disturb you that much. This is baking, and you know baking is sugary and very sweet, so everything is sweet. It's something we have tried, so we had 2 bags of this. We have already used up 1. They're very sweet. You will taste them and you will feel the same how it is. This is the rice flour. It's for mixing with the potato flour, because we don't want to use all-purpose flour. We want to try, as I said, this is an innovation hub. You want to try new things, okay? So this rice flour, it's a rice, the common known rice that you use to cook rice or pilau or whichever food you make with rice. It's the same, the rice, then the grains are grinded and then it gives out rice flour. It's commonly found in the supermarket. You can buy it in the supermarket because we also bought it in the supermarket. But for the potato flour, you have to make it yourself. So this we made it ourselves, and then this is the product we have, okay? So this is our handmade product.
So up to that point, I guess there is no any question. You said the question, we will do them after finishing with our dough, right? So this is the dry ingredient. We have mixed the two, and we have added the baking soda, 1 tablespoon, okay? So you mix them and keep them aside. That is dry ingredients, right? Let's go to wet ingredients. As well, I told you we will be using our butter. This is our butter. Measure 150 grams for it, okay? So we will be measuring 150 grams butter.
This one, you'll use this bowl.
Measure 150 grams. So as well, you can see it is soft, right? Because we have kept it at room temperature. We will measure 150 grams. So there we go. This is our butter. So as well, as we are doing we have to mash it until soft so that we can mix with other ingredients, right? So you have to press them till they are soft. As well, it is not hard at the moment because we have kept it at room temperature.
I need 100.
So after doing this, we will add sugar. I like using brown sugar. Okay, I don't like using the white sugar, so we will use our brown sugar. Also, this is a brown sugar, so we can use this one.
Oh, we prefer this because it has a smaller particles compared to this. So for those who has ever used this, they know like it has very, very large particles, but these they have refined it to smaller. At least it's smaller particles. It has small particles compared to these, but they're also the same. So this brown sugar, who knows what it's made from? Yeah, it's molasses. Okay. How do we call it in Kenya? Skari. This is the commonly known as that. So this is just the brown sugar. It's actually very sticky. For those people who have diabetes, this is the encouraged. They're really encouraged to use this sugar because it doesn't have high quantity of sugar. Any one of you can taste it, can taste and feel. Doesn't have like that sugary taste, that high sugary taste. It's just very fine. I know, like for those who have ever eaten that Skari Guru, they know how it tastes. It's very hard to get it out of the bag. So
it is called. It is not processed sugar, right? It is like the banana sugar, right? That's why we like it, because everyone can use it. So I don't like sugary things as well. As my colleague said, we don't do sugary things. So we will just use 115 grams, okay, of brown sugar, 115 grams. So that is it. Mix it with the butter that we made, that is plant-based butter as well. So for me, up to this point, I like using my electric mixer. But the moment it will disturb. Okay, let me use this one kindly. I think yeah, good. We have better extensions here, but we can mix well. So I like starting it from here because our wet ingredients will be well mixed, so that we can add our dry ingredients and do them now.
When you are making your baking, when you are baking your ingredients, when you're making anything to bake, the butter has to be more like it's the key ingredient in your baking. Whether making cake, whether making cupcakes, anything you're making, make sure the butter is higher. Yeah. Okay, even if like the procedure you're using, it says like use 150 gram, you can even put it 160. Okay, because butter is the key in baking. Without butter, or if you make your butter a little less, you will see disaster when it comes to oven. Okay, so make sure like your butter is high. He can use the hand mix as we wait for the electrical mixture to be fixed. Yeah, as we continue, he will keep explaining.
So this is what we are doing actually. The reason behind why we want to use the electrical mixer, it is because our butter was not well defrosted, right? So it has like some small cubes. So that's why we want to smash them with what? So as we wait for electrical, our mixer to be fixed. Who has a question?
So we are going to continue. We are going to add the flour in the mixture. And then we continue to whisk.
Yeah. Then we continue whisking together. Okay, it is not a must that you use this one, okay? It is not a must. As well, I'm energetic enough. So since it has become hard, this is what we need for it to be hard as well. For cookies, you have to make a strong dough, right? It is not like the soft dough that we make for cake, right? So from here we'll be using our hands, right? So up to that point, we will add our milk. Okay, in baking, I don't advise when making a plant-based, you are baking anything plant-based, just have enough milk, okay? I don't advise to have the actual measurement of milk. Just have enough milk, because you may experience that your your dough needs to be softened, you see? So exceeding your measurements, like in terms of milk. So up to this point, I will use my hands now and add my milk, okay? Good.
Has a concern? I can hear mamas. Yes, who has any question? For those who are murmuring behind there. Nakwambia wache kuwhisper juu hata microphone inakuwa kuchukua bado. Sasa basi acha kuwhisper, just say it. We don't have a rolling table, but we have a rolling pin. So we are going to use the bottom of the tray to roll it. And actually the pizza dough, you make it as thin as possible. The shape doesn't matter, okay? When you're making the pizza dough, when you're rolling it, the shape doesn't matter, but what matters is the thinness of when you roll it. So make it as thin as possible, okay? It will raise because it has a lot of yeast in it, okay?
So this is our dough. We are going to make it as thin as possible, okay? I'm so confident that the shape doesn't.
Take care of the table.
Take the baking paper and press it.
Kindly, is there a problem? Why, who has a concern or a question? Anyone who has a question? So we are going to prepare our baking paper. In any baking, this is very important. If you don't have the baking paper, you can use the corn flour. How do you call it? The maize flour for making ugali. If you don't have this paper, you just pour the ugali flour, the maize flour, on the bottom of the tray before you put your dough. The same case we are doing this. For example, if we didn't have this, we could have just poured the maize flour on the bottom of the tray because it prevents the dough from sticking onto the pan. So that is another hack if you don't have this. So you can just use your maize flour, you pour it on the bottom of the tray, then you put your dough. Okay, so because we have it, we are going to use it. So if your dough is, this has a weird shape, if your dough is this thick at the edges, make sure you use your hands to straighten it and also to make it somehow thin, because so we are going to, let's trim it for it to fit into the tray. We say the sufuria in the oven tray. Okay, so we are just going to have this. So now we are just going to pick it and also put it on the tray on the other side as I prepare the baking paper. So for you can use even a sufuria at home to make a pizza. Okay, you just have to make sure you regulate your heat accordingly. And we said we make sure we trim the edges. Don't be like me, who is cutting excess paper.
For easy trimming of your baking paper, just put it on the bottom, then press your baking pan, then cut it around. Okay? That is the easiest way.
Yeah. Then you add your oil also. It has also assist in not the dough won't stick onto the paper. When you remove it here, it just comes out and it will be very fine and very okay. Okay? Okay, continue.
So we press our dough and we shape it, extend it so that it can be thin enough. Okay?
So the key point, it's just the thinness of the dough. Okay?
Yeah.
Make sure it's very thin at all corners. We don't have anywhere that is very thick. Yeah, it's okay. So after this, you add your toppings right now. So we are going to start with our paste, the paste that we made. We are going to remove the basil leaves. Oh, the bay leaves, sorry. So we are going to remove the bay leaves because they already gave us the flavor. Then you pour your paste onto your pizza. So you make sure like even if it goes into the pizza, there is no big deal because you will just remove it when the pizza is ready. You spread your paste the way you just spread the other paste on the top of your pizza. This is your homemade paste, so I know it's going to be sweet because you chose the ingredients, so the taste is what you want. Okay? Yeah, so you spread it evenly around the whole area. Continue.
We'll continue spreading it well.
So I forgot something before. I'm so sorry. Before that, before you put the paste, you're supposed to make some holes into your pizza using a fork. Okay? And it doesn't have to be evenly. So I'm so sorry about that. So make sure before you spread your paste, you have to make the small holes. Okay?
Using your fork, right?
Because it allows the, how do you call it, the taste. You see the paste and also the spices, the everything, they can so that they can diffuse inside the pizza. So when you eat, even at the bottom, you'll be feeling the same taste, the one that is on top. Okay? So just make sure you put, don't forget like me. Okay?
Yes, you have to make it because as well we put our yeast, right? The same thing we will do when we put it, when we will start baking it, the yeast will be heated, so it will start rising. Okay? So because we made our holes, then the paste will penetrate inside. So all our pizza will have the flavor, the taste of the paste we made, right? Yeah.
So after that, you put your onions. Sorry about that mistake. So these are your onions, okay? You see they are brown in color. And then they smell very nice. So you just spread them over the tray, okay? Everywhere. So, and then another thing, we make our cheese. For a plant-based cheese, we don't use, like, we are on a plant-based program, okay? So I was to make the cheese previously, but we saw like you guys are tired and you needed a break, so I didn't make the cheese. I was supposed to make it on the first session. So what we are going to do, we will use the cheese paste. So I'm just going to make it right now. The paste, before you take it, you can use the paste, and also you can use the frozen cheese, okay, the one that you grate on top of the pizza. But we're not going to do that. We are going to use the paste because we had not already made, okay? Or we can skip the cheese, okay? Is it okay? Because it's already, like, the time is moving, but I can tell you how to make the paste, okay? What to make the cheese, we make our own plant-based cheese by using vegan milk. We use the milk. You put your, for example, okay, it's difficult to make a plant-based cheese to be like the mozzarella cheese that you buy in the supermarket or the other cheeses that you buy, because for example, for the peanut milk cheese, it has a lot of, I know it's high quantity of the protein and fat. It doesn't curdle. So when you put vinegar or lime juice into it, it doesn't curdle. And you know, like, the cheese is the curds. When the milk curdles, the curds are the cheese. So this milk doesn't curdle. So what we do, we make our cheese paste, and then we use it as it is, as a paste, or we refrigerate it. We put it in a container that can give it a certain. We have maybe, like, you know, the ice cubes tray. So maybe we put it in such kind of a plastic ice cube tray, and then it gives it its own shape, and then we remove it. Then that time we can grate it. But we haven't made that, so we are going to make we won't make the cheese paste. So I'll teach you how to make the paste. So we use the milk. We have the milk. This is the plant-based milk. You can use all the spices, just the way we made, like, the spices we used. You can use the garlic powder, you can use the cumin, and all the other ingredients that we used. So I need to confirm on something, because I made a little mistake. I need to confirm on something. So yes, we are going to use milk, 180 ml or 3/4 cups of milk. 180 ml or 3/4 cup of milk. We use 20 grams of nutritional yeast. The yeast, we use 20 grams of yeast. We're going to use the corn flour, 2 tablespoons of corn flour or tapioca flour or the starch, whichever it is that you have. We're going to use salt, a half teaspoon of salt, and half teaspoon of onion and garlic powder, and also a smoked paprika. Those others are optional, so you can use onion powder, garlic powder, and also paprika. They are optional, so you can use them or you can omit them, so it's all on you. So we're going to make our pizza without the cheese, but it will also be very good. Okay, it's okay. Or we make the paste, because the paste is just a few minutes, and then we just pour it on top. We make the paste. Okay, no problem. I can do that for you, guys.
She's doing it as she makes the paste, the cheese. We will just paste it on the top of our toppings, okay? Then we bake our pizza, right? But for those guys who want to buy them, they do buy the cheese from the market. They just grate it, okay? For us, it's just we didn't make it yesterday. We could have grated it. You just grate it before the toppings and after the toppings. okay? When you are graping for them, so you grape them before the toppings and after the toppings, okay? So let us make the paste, then we bake, okay? So up to that point, we may ask some questions because it's only paste. So this is our pizza, okay? This will be our pizza. So you can take photos if you wish. Then we bake it.
We are going to use the pan as it is.
Okay.
We don't have a source of heat here. Water to wash it with, but they're all the same. So you put your milk on the pan, okay? We said how many? 20 grams of yeast. Okay, very fast. I want us to go very fast because the time it's not on our side. Kindly put for me 20 grams of yeast. Yes, measure for me 15 grams of cornstarch or the normal, the starch. You can use the corn flour or the starch. So measure 15 grams. A pinch of salt, a salt to taste. So you add as much as you want to feel, the way you want it to taste. So it's up to you. Then, okay, we have the starch. Then we are going to add the paprika only. We are not going to add maybe the garlic, but the onion powder, no. So we are going just to add the garlic powder and the paprika, just a pinch too. Then we add the starch. So the starch, it will make it thick, so for it to be a paste. And then after putting it on the deep freezer or where you're going to freeze it, it's actually, then it comes out as a thick paste, okay? So kindly assist me with a whisk. I need a whisk. Yes. Bring it. Bring it. So let me rinse it.
Just use a spoon.
Or I can use the spoon. I think I can use the spoon.
Just use your spoon.
The spoon, yeah. Assist me with the serviette. A serviette. So we are going to turn off the heat. Can you hold it for me? The heat. So you mix your ingredients. So I prefer using a whisk. Candy, could you get it for me? A whisk. A whisk. Because a whisk is easy to mix these ingredients compared to using a spoon. It actually mixes the ingredients better. So I prefer using a whisk. As we wait, we are going to stir it with a spoon. Make sure all the ingredients that we have agreed on, they mix completely for it to be a one paste, okay? Yeah. Or you can use even a spatula, the wooden spatula, okay? So let's use this. So we heat because the starch, for the starch to thicken your mixture, even the yogurt, as you saw when making the yogurt, you have to heat it. So the starch, it functions well when it's exposed to heat. So if you don't heat your mixture, the starch or the corn flour or any starch you use, or the corn flour or the tapioca flour, it won't function unless you expose it to heat. So you keep mixing as you add heat. Make sure you don't stop stirring. You continue stirring until you see the mixture is thickening. Even after it thickens, you don't stop to stir. So keep stirring and mixing because it easily sticks on the pan, at the bottom of the pan. So make sure you continue stirring. So as you can see, like our paste is already coming together. As you can see, this is our cheese paste. So this paste, like even when you melt the cheese, it's actually like this, for those who has ever used cheese. So this is our cheese paste. So you see, so we use it as it is. No, I'll show it to you kindly. It's only that I can't remove it from the source of heat. I'll come at that side and I'll show it to you. So this, it's ready already. Okay, so just few minutes and you have your cheese. So this is our peanut cheese paste. So this is what we are going to use on as our cheese, because we don't have the grater, the one that you grate. So we are going to just spread it on top of the pizza, because we didn't put it at the bottom. So the smell, can you smell it, or it's just me? Oh, you can't smell the smell of the, you can't? Oh, so it's because of the ingredients that we have added, the spices, the garlic, all other. Kindly assist me with the spoon. The spoon that is on the measuring jar.
Okay.
So if your whisk cannot help you, so use your spoon.
So for those guys who want it to be hard, you can, after it cools, you can refrigerate it. Okay, then it will be hard. You can put it in your dish in the shape you want, then you can refrigerate it. Then it will you can grape it. Okay, that is the process. But for us, we will use it that way. So we want to preheat our oven. Okay, after preheating it, we bake, then we prepare the dough for cake. Okay, and cupcakes. Oven.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So for us, we have been using it at 150 degrees Celsius. Okay, 150. We see it. So in baking, the less heat we use, the good outcome we. Okay, the more heat we get. So that is the secret in oven. Okay, use it through heat, then bake it for long. Okay, then you will get the best results, right? But if you put a lot of heat, then you will bake for more time, a short time. Sorry, then you will get a poor results, right? Okay, let's preheat it for about 2 minutes or 3. Then we bake our pizza and cookies, okay? So up to that point, I think we are good. As we wait our oven to preheat, let us be preparing our ingredients of cake, right? Yes. Up to that point, you can ask any question concerning the pizza and cookies. Any question, we are ready to answer. Or any comment, if well understood, you can say I'm good. Yes, any comment from that point? Yes? It's okay, continue.
Cheese.
The cheese. You see the cheese that we have, the sauce that we have put in. We said we do it from the bottom and the top, right? So that is what makes it to be like, it is so spreading. You want to eat it so spreading, okay? Yes.
But I hope you remember in the beginning, I said it's very hard to get the exact cheese that you get from the cow milk compared to the plant-based milk, because the plant-based milk has high quantity of protein and also fats. So when you add the vinegar and also the lime juice, it does not curd as expected to be. So the cheese, the plant-based cheese, it's not that sticky like the one, I know the one that you mean. Yeah? The stretchiness, it's not the same. Okay, so don't expect to see the big stretchy thing. No. Okay, but it's still the same. Any question?
Any question? Any question? Any question? Okay, for these ones, we always marinate these ones, and you can use it for like a kachumbari. Okay, you can marinate them well and you eat it. It's very sweet. Okay. Any question? Yes. For us, we can make it 50%, but for you, we will just give us a. Or you ask about quotation. Okay, for us, we have not done any quotation to everything that we have done today. In terms of butter, in terms of pizza, nothing we have done for its variation and quotation, okay? But in terms of percentage, you guys, you can award us, right? After testing, okay? Yes. So let's wait, then we bake. So as we continue, right? We said as we continue, we clean our. Good. So we want to do cake now. I think cake and cupcakes is our final thing. Okay, that is what we will do as final. So that we will bake it, then we go and take our lunch. Then we'll be back and taste and the last session. Okay. Okay.